Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the universe. Text number 33. Nodvigna Chito Vyasaneshu Nishpriha Shruteshu Drishteshu Guneshu Avastudrik Dantindriya Prana Sariradi Sada Prashantakamo Rahitasuro Asuraha Nodvigna Chitto Vyasane Sunispriya Shrute Shrudriste Sugunesh Vavastudrik Dantindriya Prana Sarira Disara Prashanta Kamo Rahita Suravsura Nodvigna Chitto Vyasane Sunishpriha Shrute Sujute Shugunesh Vavastudrik Dantindriya Prana Sarira Disada Prashanta Kamo Rahita Surosara Not Udvigna agitated Chittaha whose consciousness Vyasaneshu in dangerous conditions Nispriha without desire Shruteshu in things heard of especially elevation to heavenly planets because of pious activities Dristeshu as well as in temporal things seen Guneshu the objects of sense gratification under the modes of material nature Avastudrik seeing it as if insubstantial Danta controlling Indriya the senses Prana the living force. Sharira, body. Dhi, the intelligence. Sada, always. Prashanta, quieted. Kamaha, whose material desires. Rahita, completely devoid of. Asuraha, demoniac nature. Asuraha, although born in a demoniac family. Translation: although Prahlad was born in a family of asuras, he himself was not an asura but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Unlike the other asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put into danger, and he was neither directly nor indirectly interested in the fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless, and therefore he was completely devoid of material desires. He always controlled his senses and life air, and being of steady intelligence and determination, he subdued all lusty desires. Translation, please repeat. Although Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of asuras, he himself was not an asura, but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Unlike the other asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put into danger, and he was neither directly nor indirectly interested in the fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless, and therefore he was completely devoid of all material desires. He always controlled his senses and life air, and being of steady intelligence and determination, he subdued all lusty desires. Habhi habhi bolo Sayyidi Namar. When that day will be ours. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From this verse we discover that a man is not qualified or disqualified simply by birth. Prahlad Maharaj was an asura by birth, yet he possessed all the qualities of a perfect Brahmana. Brahmanaya sila sampana. Anyone can become a fully qualified Brahman under the direction of a spiritual master. Prahlad Maharaj provided a vivid example of how to think of the spiritual master and accept his directions calmly. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manu Vistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadandigam Adadanastranandantai Vritam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Tulisyam Janma Janmani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Panchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So here in this chapter it describes the how Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the universe. He performed great penances and austerities. So generally we think of penance and austerities as something that is done by pious persons. But here we see example, he was a very demoniac person with demoniac ideas and demoniac qualities. Yet to become very powerful, he performed penances and austerities. Such austerities no one knows. Eventually his life air was just circulating within his bones. His body was eaten away by the termites and bugs. Then he asked for unattainable benediction. As soon as Lord Brahma heard his benediction, he said, but even I, Lord Brahma, the engineer of this entire universe, even I have to die. How I will give you immortality? So Prabhupada explains that demons think they're very clever, so he thought by indirect definition, he'll become immortal. That I'll not die on the land, sea, or the sky. I'll not die in the inside or the outside, in the daytime and the nighttime, by any weapon, by any of the 8,400,000 species of life. So he thought that he's very clever. He became immortal by indirect definition. But Prabhupada says, Lord is more clever than the demon. Prabhupada said, Demon. Prabhupada always pronounced so sweetly, Demon. So Lord Demon, he thinks he's very clever, but Lord is more clever than Demon. He kept all his, we'll see later, he kept all of his benedictions intact and still he killed him. In fact, one Pandit here in Vrindavan told me there's another Puran, it's not mentioned here, in the holy pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, but another Puran, it describes how he took benediction that he would not be killed in any of the 12 months. Therefore they had to invent this extra month, Purushottama month. So according to this Pandit, only every depends, sometimes it takes 19 years before a Purushottama month will come in this particular period of Nishinga Chaturdasi. So he claims Nishinga Chaturdasi only comes every 19 or 11, 12 sometimes years. Because he killed him in the Purushottama month, which wasn't one of the 12 months. So anyway, after describing the demoniac qualities and the great austerities and how he began his terrorizing universe, we thought this terrorism was a new thing. When I grew up, there was no such thing as, we never heard of the thing terrorism. But actually here in the holy pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, from millions of years ago, this terrorism was there. Hiranyakashipu was one of the first terrorists. So after describing his demoniac qualities and terrorism, now Narad Muni is describing the wonderful qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. The most amazing thing here, it says, what is that? Rahita asuro sura. Rahit means completely devoid of, without. Rahita what? Asuro. He has no quality of asura, asuro, even though he's an asura. He's born in the family of asura, but rahita asuro. He has no qualities like an asura. So Prabhupada immediately points this out, that this is the real way that we judge a person, not by his birth, but by his qualities. See here, very nice description is given. That even in Vyasaneshu, dangerous or disturbing conditions, he's undisturbed. No udvigna. And he's aloof from everything that has been heard or everything that is to be seen. Shrutesu, dristesu, drista means sight. Shruteshu, we hear about all these wonderful heavenly pleasures we can enjoy in the heavenly planets. Jai Sisi Gaurnitai Krishna Baldao Sisi Radha Sham Sundar Ki Jai. So Shruteshu, we hear about all these things and we become desirous to enjoy. Dristeshu, we see so many enjoyable things. Guneshu, there's so many wonderful varieties in this material world. Avastudrik. Vastu means thing, so avastu means he saw there's nothing. Vastu means thing. So here avastu, nothing. He saw there's nothing. We're completely agitated. Everything we see, we hear, we experience, we're put in some disturbing condition, we become so disturbed. Just like we give the example, Madhavendra Puri. He never begged anyone for anything. We were just discussing Madhavendra Puri the other day. I forget who gave nice class that day, but it was a nice class. So he never begged anyone for anything. Somebody gave him something to eat, he ate. If he didn't eat, nobody gave him anything to eat, then he just fasted, undisturbed. Not like us. We go on Brajmandal Prakama, prasad is late, and we're all very angry. What kind of management is this? Why is the prasad is always late every day? We become agitated. Is it? Our manager here, he knows. But even in a disturbing condition, he was not agitated. So these are the qualities of a divine person, not a demoniac person. He was born asura. He was born in a family, Rata Asura, but he's without any asuric quality. How did he become like that? By hearing from his spiritual master, even within the womb of his mother. Just on the side of Govardhan, across the street from Kusum Sarovar, a little inn, inwards, there's Narada Kund and Narada Ban. Very beautiful ashram is there. Wonderful temple has just come up. Most exquisite deities, Priya Priyatam. And beautiful life-size brass deity of Narad Muni is there. And the Mahant there, his name is Dinabandhu. Dinabandhu Sharan. A certain branch of Nimbarka Sampradaya, instead of Das, they put Sharan on the end. Like we put Das, they put Sharan. Just like we know in Bhagavad-Gita, Sarvadharmam Puritaja Mamikam Sharanam. So to take shelter or to become the Das, practically the same thing. So I really don't know any shastric proof or anything, but Dinabandhu Sharan, he claims that this is the ashram where Narad Muni brought Kayadu and instructed her about devotional service, and Prahlad heard Within the womb he heard. The most amazing. Because in Bhagavatam it describes that at 7 months the child becomes conscious within the womb. Therefore Prabhupada always recommended that the ladies, when they're with child, especially after 7 months, they should read out loud so the child will hear. They should chant very loudly, they should attend the kirtans. We see the proof that Narad Muni, he was born in a family of Hiranyakashipu, king of all the Asuras. In fact, while he was away performing his penances, they wanted to take, the demigods tried to take her away, and Narad Muni stopped. They said, we don't want any harm for her. Demigods are gentlemen, they wouldn't harm a woman. But she's carrying the seed of Hiranyakashipu within her womb, so we will wait till he's born and then we'll kill him. Narad Muni says, you cannot kill him, even if you want. He's actually a great devotee of the Lord. So very important to, at all times, but especially in the very beginning, to read loud and chant loudly for the child. So Narad Muni, Prahlad Maharaj, so what I was saying, that's right, was that Dinabandhu Sharan, he claims this is the place. And it makes sense, because we know that Narad Muni, he's cursed, he cannot stay anywhere for more than a few minutes. So, because in fact that Naradavan is famous, that Narad Muni was praising Lord Krishna very sweetly here in Braj. And Krishna said, hey Narad, why don't you stay here? Do your bhajan. He said, but Prabhu, I'm cursed, I cannot stay anywhere. Are Narad, that's in the material world. This Brajadam is not part of the material world. Don't think we're sitting in the material world. This Brajadam is not different from the Golok Dham. You're sitting in the Golok. So that curse has no effect here. So this is the only place that Narad Muni could have his ashram. I don't have any shastric proof, but so he's saying this is the place where all this pastime happened. Beautiful place, Narada Kund. So just by hearing from the spiritual master, he became purified of all the effects of his bad birth. Therefore, Prabhupada immediately says we should not judge a person as a Brahmana simply by his birth. Even Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavad-Gita has told, Tatrvarnam mayasritam guna karma vibhagasam. Very important, this is in 4th chapter. Krishna says, I explain that divine science to the sun god. And of course Arjuna, well, how is that possible? Then Arjuna, Krishna explains that I can remember everything, you cannot. In the first verse, after describing that, now he's going to describe divine science, was he say, Chaturvarnam mayasra. That divine science means varnashram. This is the first thing Krishna speaks. After establishing that now he's going to reveal that divine science, he says, Chaturvarnam mayasritam guna karma vibhagasam. That this system of varnashram, Chaturvarnam mayasritam, 4 varns and 4 ashrams. Chaturvarnam mayasristam. Shristi means creation. It is created by Lord. The mundane scholars, they say this is created by the Brahmins because they put themselves on top to dominate over everybody else. This is all the mundane scholars, they try to say like that. But here Krishna himself is saying, Maya system, I have created this system. Therefore this is the perfect society, Varnashram. But he doesn't say janma karma. He says guna karma. Guna means quality, and karma means activity. And sometimes we see, because it's very easy, you can go to the market, for a couple of rupees you can buy a Brahman thread and put it on. So we see so many people wearing Brahman threads doing things that are not generally done by Brahmins. He's not doing the karma. Neither we see the qualities. Just like several times we given the example that we used to chant in front of a restaurant called Diamond Jim's on Hollywood Boulevard. You all know Hollywood. This is just an hour from my house. So we can imagine, the name is Diamond Jim, it's in Hollywood, what is being served there. We won't mention in front of our Lord. So all we can say is, Go Mata Ki Jai. That is for eating. And for drinking, they served distilled essence of rottenness. They either take some grapes or some grains or some potatoes and make them rotten. Then they distill out the essence of the rottenness, and they think it's very sophisticated to drink such a thing. It tastes so bad they have to put orange juice, tomato juice, so many other things. But they think this is very sophisticated. Eat this one. I remember the first time I tried, just was coughing like anything. But they think this is very sophisticated. So this is what is going on in this restaurant. And sometimes I would be distributing books while the kirtan party was going on, and some person from Bharat would come out of the door of this restaurant. Now I think in the old days, way back in the early 70s, when people left India, in the airport they gave them a piece of paper. When you meet the Hare Krishnas, this is what you say. Now you're going to West, you'll run into the Hare Krishnas. Because I never met anyone from Bharat who didn't say the same thing to me. As soon as I would approach them with a book, no, I'm from India, I know everything. I only got one answer from everyone, so I guess they gave them slip of paper in emigration. When you meet the Hare Krishna, this is what to say. So I approached this fellow, I offered him Bhagavad-Gita. I'm from India, I know everything. Then, see, I'm Brahmin. He's eating, we don't want to mention. He's drinking, we already mentioned. And he's showing his strength. I'm Brahmin. No guna, no karma. So this is not the qualification. Krishna says guna karma, not janma karma. Guna karma. Just like another pastime happened here in Braj was the part of Mahabharata called Yaksha Prashna. We know one time the Pandavas, they were very thirsty, and Yudhishthira told, I can't remember which one of the younger brothers, you climb a tree and see if there's water anywhere. So he said, I see nearby I don't see water, but I see the type of trees that grow where there's water. So there must be some pond there. So he told Bhim, go there and get some water. So Bhim went there, he saw crystal clear, cool water, and he so thirsty. He went to drink, and voice said, don't drink, answer my questions first. This all happened in Kamivan. That Dharm Kund is still there in Kamivan, just near Kameshwar Mahadev. So we know what happened. He thought, I'm Bhim, who's going to stop me from drinking? He drank the water and he died. Then Yudhishthira got impatient. So he sent Arjun. Arjun saw his brothers dead, but he saw cool, clear, crystal, cool, delicious water. He didn't care. Even his brother is dead. He think, let me drink some water. Just see how powerful the senses are. What is our position? We have no position. These are great, great personalities. Bhim, Arjun, Yudhishthira, Nakul, Sahadev. And same thing, voice said, don't drink, you'll die like your brother. He drank, he died. So everybody, same thing happened. Then Yudhishthira came. He saw all his brothers are dead. But still he was thinking, water, I'm so thirsty. Just see how powerful the sense is. You just see, if we see our brothers dead, we'll immediately run to them. But he's thinking, let me drink water. We just have to pray like anything. What is our position? These great people are agitated so much by the senses. What is our position? We just have to pray like anything. Krishna, please save me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Yudhishthira was a little bit more calm when he heard the voice. He said, all right, but I can't talk to a voice. You take some form. So he took the form of a yaksha. Now don't ask me what a yaksha is, but anyway, there's such a creature. And he asked questions. We know the very famous question that Prabhupada always points out, Kim Charjam, what is the most surprising thing that you have seen? And Yudhishthira Maharaj says, Ahani Ahani Bhutani Gacchante Yamalayam Chesham Stavaram Ichanti Kim Charjam Atakparam. Ahani Ahani Bhutani Gacchayam Yamalayam. Everybody's going to the Yamalaya, to the place of Yamaraj. Shesham, those who were remaining, everybody's already gone. But those who are remaining, I'm not going. They live their life like, I'm not going to the Yamalaya. Now, this is the most surprising thing. Now some of the questions were like that. Essay question, some were yes or no questions, some were multiple choice questions. So there's one question, he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, how do we tell a Brahmin? By his birth, by his activities, no, by his birth, by his learning. What was third? A, B, C. I can't remember A, B, C now, but anyway. Yes, C was by his qualities. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, simply by birth, as we gave the example, one may be born in a Brahmin family, but he's not doing anything Brahmanical. And as far as knowledge goes, we have the great example of Yamunacharya. His guru was Natha Muni, and one time there was a king. He had one great Digvijay Pandit, I think his name was Kolahala, something like that. Kolahala. Huh? So, if you were defeated by him, then you had to pay some money. And Nath Muni was poor Brahmin. He had no money, he was crying. So Yamunacharya came, he said, my dear Guruji, what's the problem? He told the problem. So he's a young boy, he said, all right, I will go and defeat this fellow and get you free from this debt. Because the condition was, if you cannot pay, then you have to sacrifice your life. He's so puffed up that by his pride and his knowledge and learning, that he's ready to kill even a Brahmin. If you cannot pay the debt, then you have to sacrifice your life. So the boy went there, and he told the king that I want to challenge Kolahala. And the king was laughing, who's this little boy? He said, no, I'm serious. So he said, all right. So he gave you a nice place to stay in the palace, nice room, guest room. In the morning he was sitting on the terrace doing his sadhana, and the king and queen, they were also walking on their balcony, and they looked down and they saw him. And the queen says, what will happen if your Pandit is defeated by this little boy? And the king said, I'll give him half of my kingdom if he can defeat my Pandit. It's all right, I will hold you to your word. So then the next day the debate was there. So Kolahala, he thought, anyway, he's a little boy, let him, who asks the question, he has advantage. So he said, let him ask the questions. So the first question he asked was he said, your mother was not a barren woman. Barren means a woman without child. Now Kolahala is there. How can he prove? He has to disprove the statement. How can he prove that his mother had no children? He's there. So he became very angry. He's very proud with his knowledge. This fellow wants me to insult my mother. You know, beat him. He wants to beat the little boy. So the king said, no, the rules of debate are if you can't defeat the proposition, then he has to defeat it. So the little boy, so then, Jamunacharya, he said, in Shastra it says that if a woman has only one child, she's considered barren. He quoted some verse. So Kolahala is all right, next one. He said, our king is most pious. Now Kolahala has to prove that the king is impious. He says, see, now he wants me to insult you. You beat this fellow. King says, wait a minute, I want to hear. He said, our king is no doubt very pious, but he has to suffer 1/6 of the karma of all of the citizens of the country. He has 1/6 of the karma of all the citizens sitting on his head. All right, next question. Our queen mother is most chaste. Now he has to prove that the queen mother is unchaste. Now he wants me to insult the queen. You beat him. Wait a minute. Queen says, wait a minute. She wants to hear what he's going to say. He said, our queen mother is undoubtedly very chaste. But the king, he's a representative of 5 different demigods. Our queen is associating with 5 different people. And she said, Alabandar, Alabandar, Alabandar. That's why he became known. Yamunacharya's another name was Alabandar. He has conquered. So then he gave him half his kingdom. Now he became a king. He forgot all about his sadhana because king means enjoy. You have money, you have wealth, you have women. He began to enjoy like anything. He forgot all his spiritual life and just enjoy like anything. And Nath Muni was very sad, just to help me. Now he's fallen in this deep dark well of material existence. Before he left this world, he told one of his disciples, godbrother of Jamunacharya, that you have to give this message to him, that I have left him a great wealth, unlimited wealth. But that wealth is surrounded by first of all surrounded by a river, surrounded by 7 walls, and protected by a multi-headed serpent. You give him this message. So I can't remember his name. What was his name? Ram Mishra. So he tried to meet the king. Now he's a big enjoyer. And we see, we go on life membership, big sign is there, beware of the dog. Plus the chokidar is there. If somebody comes for chanda, you tell him I'm out of station. Not easy to see enjoying type of person. So he couldn't get audience with the king. So then he went to the cook because he was suffering from some stomach trouble. So he picked some weed in the jungle that he knew will solve this problem. He gave it to the cook. He said, you cook this for the king, his stomach problem will be solved. So every day he was bringing this weed, every day he was cooking and giving to the king. The king was becoming very healthy. So then one day he didn't bring the weed. And when the king saw the plate, he said, "Where's that sag?" Every day that sag is there. I'm getting very hungry. Where is it? Call the cook. He said, "You're in big trouble. Now he wants to see you." He said, "Where's the sag?" "I don't know. That sadhu that brings it every day didn't come today. Oh, next time he comes, you bring him here." So after 2-3 days, again he came. "All right, you're in big trouble. You go see the king." So he got audience with the king. Very clever. So he got audience with the king. He said, "Why you didn't bring the sag today?" He said, "This was my ploy to see. I was trying to see you. I'm your godbrother." And Nath Muni, on his last days, he gave special message. Then suddenly he was struck. He was just enjoying like anything. That's why we know that famous verse of Yamunacharya is there. You know, now when I think of sex life, I spit. Because he became a supreme enjoyer. That's why that verse is there. He became supreme enjoyer. He said, "What is that message?" He said, "There's unlimited wealth kept for you." Acha? He said, "But it's surrounded by a river, 7 walls, and protected by a snake. I will bring my whole army, you can come alone. Your army will be destroyed if you try to bring your army." "All right, take me there." So then he took him to Srirangam, surrounded by Kaveri River. It's an island in the middle of the Kaveri River. 7 walls are there. And this Anantashesh is there. He's lying on Anantashesh. And when Jamunacharya saw Lord Ranganath and saw the beauty of Lord Ranganath, then he realized, "Oh my God, what have I done? I left all my sadhana, everything just for this useless sense gratification." Then he gave up everything. He became one of the Alwars and the head of the Sri Sampradaya. So the point is that one may be born in a Brahmin family, that doesn't make him a Brahmin. One may have so much knowledge. But we see knowledge, generally people become very proud. So A, B, C. C was by his qualities. So Yudhishthira Maharaj picked C by his qualities. We can know Brahman by his behavior. That was C was by his birth, by his knowledge, or by his behavior. So Yudhishthira Maharaj picked behavior. So then Yaksha was very pleased. So how we can get behavior of Brahman? Here the secret is given by hearing from the bona fide spiritual master. We are coming from the lowest type of families. I've given an example how we were such people that we crashed Yamaraj's hard drive trying to keep track of our sinful activities. But simply by hearing from the lotus mouth of Srila Prabhupada, we're starting, I can't say, we're very proud sometimes. Yeah, now I got my string, I'm a Brahmin. We're very proud. But are you actually developing the qualities of a Brahmin? Just a little sacrifice in putting a string doesn't make you a Brahmin. We're very quick to point out to caste Brahmins, but when you point at anyone, 3 fingers pointing back at you, are you actually developing qualities? Are you actually becoming Brahminical? So if we follow the directions of the bona fide spiritual master and hear from him, we have chance, even from low birth, to become a Brahmin, actual Brahmin. And here is the proof. Prahlad Maharaj, born in very, very atheistic family, but simply by hearing the words of Sri Narad Muni, he became the great soul, Prahlad Maharaj, Mahajan. And one other thing I was remembering, in Lochan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Mangala, he describes, because we always hear how Mahaprabhu was always hearing about gopis and Ras Leela and all this type of thing. But Lochan Das Thakur describes that Mahaprabhu listened 100 times to Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj pastimes. 100 times he listened to these two things. Because we're always very anxious to jump up to Gopi Bhav. Huh? But first you learn from Prahlad Maharaj, from Dhruva Maharaj, how to become a devotee first, then you can go there. Huh? If you want to, just like now, I'm seeing mangoes are coming in the market. Huh? Now mango season. Only few good things about hot season. One is melon and mango. So now the mangoes are coming. And the sweetest, most ripest mangoes, they're on the top of the tree where they get the sun, so they become ripe. But that's very high up. Now what the little boys try to do, they take a stone and they throw it in the tree trying to knock those mangoes down. But the sweet mango, he's still stuck. He will not fall so easily. But that one that's already rotten, he's loose, he will fall down. So you throw a stone to get the mango, you'll get the rotten mango, not the sweet one. The same way, you want the Gopi Bhav, but if you just throw a stone that I'll just throw a stone and get, you'll get the rotten. You won't get the real thing. We have to go step by step, step by step, step by step. So many wonderful things to learn from this verse. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any question or comment? Is there a microphone? Oh, there he is.
People do a lot of ritualistic ceremonies. I'm born in Brahmin family, so we used to do a lot of ritualistic ceremony. So is this ritualistic ceremony recommended? As the ritualistic ceremonies if we do, and if the person who does the ritualistic ceremony is not a qualified Brahmin, and we just do it because our father used to do it. So it is still recommended that one should do this?
No, especially in Kali Yuga, all these ritualistic, generally people are performing ritualistic activities just like it is described here. What is that? Shruteshu, Dristeshu, Guneshu. That we heard that we'll go to heavenly planets and enjoy like anything. Generally we're doing all these things for that purpose, to become a little pious. But Krishna explains in Bhagavad-Gita, Shubha Shubha. We want to become freed from good activities and bad activities both. Because if I perform all these ritualistic ceremonies, that means I have to come back, take another birth, and enjoy the results of all the ritualistic ceremonies that I did. So in Kali Yuga, it is especially recommended, only one ritual is there. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. You just chant this holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then automatically, in Kali Santra Upanishad, Lord Brahma says, automatically all the purposes of the Vedas are performed by chanting this 16 names. He told Narad Muni, his son, my dear son, you log on to Google and you do search through the whole Vedas, you won't find anything better than this Mahamantra. Still we do, like for the artik and everything, we do all these types, but that is for attaining Krishna Bhakti, not for getting elevation to the heavenly planets. Okay? Any other question? There's no other question, then we can fall down at the very soft and wonderful lotus feet of that great personality who was elevated from the most degraded birth. Huh?
So the Jamunacharya was practicing devotional service by silent.
Yeah.
But how he forgot all these things, this particularly this silent?
That's the nature. Guneshu, Drisheshu, we're just seeing. To suddenly become a king, have unlimited wealth, and access to so much sense gratification. I mean, we just heard, oh, there's a free feast on Sunday. Hey, let's go. But you try to leave great wealth, power. These things are very, very addictive. That's why Yunamacharya says, now when I think of these things, they're so powerful. He was a young boy, he was inexperienced. So therefore I was saying, what is, even Yudhishthira Maharaj was agitated by thirst. So what is our position? We have to pray like anything to Krishna, please protect us. So now we can fall at the very soft and wonderful lotus feet of that great personality who's elevated us from very low birth to chance to become a Brahmana.